Well, it's officially June 1st, so that means there's more updates for my Check Out My Cards account. I've been documenting building out this store from scratch. I dropped off my first major order last year at the National, and we're going to go over some stats as well as top sales. Now, before we jump into that, I do have 3 updates with Check Out My Cards. The first one is I dropped off a lot of cards at Collecticon. Collecticon's mostly a Pokemon show, but I saw that COMC was setting up. So I had about 2,200 cards. A lot of that came from the UK card show, but I also had a bunch of inventory from other card shows, which I was planning on dropping off at the National. So I think it was about 150 to 200 slabs and about 2,000 raw cards. So dropped that off the very beginning as soon as I got to the show. The fun part is this was a Pokemon show, so there wasn't many sports card dealers, maybe 3 in total. And one of them had a bargain bin. So I thought, why not? I'm going to go through the bargain bin. And well, I bought a lot of cards. I think it was about $500 worth of cards. Ended up being like 200 to 300, another 20 so slabs. So I dropped them off also at Check Out My Cards. And thank you to the team that was handling the booth that day. And I should have about 2,500 cards in my account throughout this year. And that's not including other stuff that I do end up adding from the National or other card shows that I will be attending. The second update is I officially got my rejection letter for the SQL database engineering job. And then lastly, if any sellers are using my COMC stats app that I created in Python, I made a few updates for it. So first, it now accepts multiple CSVs, so you can add in data from 2024, 23, 22, and all the way backwards if you are an older seller. I've also added a section for the top selling players or subjects, and I made a few changes because I had some bugs within the app, so I fixed those. There's other changes I'm going to be implementing in soon, and if you want to see additional data points added to this first page, make sure to put it down below in the comment section. I'll add it to my backlog. My next update for this, I'm not sure what I'm going to get into it, is a comparison page. So if you want to compare like quarter stats or year stats or 30-day stats or even week by week stats, you have that capability to do so. Again, it's kind of on my backlog, so maybe a month or 2 before I get to that, but I think that'd be a really great value add into this app. And by the way, if you are a COMC seller, this is a 100% free app. Even all the code that I use is on my GitHub page. So you can use that and even expand upon it. If you do expand upon it, please let me know, because I'd love to add in additional features because I can't work on this all the time. And one last thing with that app, if anyone wants to learn how to build it from scratch, I made a full YouTube tutorial on my data/coding YouTube channel. So check out Ryan Nolan Data on YouTube. I'll also put the link down below in the comment section as well as the description. All right, I know this has been a little bit of a long intro, so let's jump into some of these stats. All right, so here is my COMC dashboard as well as my apps dashboard. So we'll go through some of the different stats here, then we'll upload the CSV file and take a look at the last 30 days. So first off over here, items in inventory, I have 6,205. And it says my total SRP is 33,858. 1,000 essentially cards don't have any SRP associated with them. But the stat that matters is the asking price, and I'm at 31,685. So I think it was a month ago I crossed 30,000, but I did reprice some stuff, so that's why I went a little bit below, and now I'm over 31,000 again. Most of my items are for sale. I do have some that aren't, and my total sales so far, my account is 21,444. I've sold 3575 items where I've purchased 8471 and added 1350. So, and also I have my enhanced security fee, $1.56. I do want to show you my store credit history over here. Just to host all these cards right now, I'm at $45.83. So why that matters is once you reach about $50, you can upgrade your Check Out My Cards account. And for me, it's going to be worth it because now I can essentially buy cards that are $2.49 or $2.50, and I won't have to deal with that penny fee. I think it's anything above $2.50, you'll have that fee. So I think at the end of this month, I need to upgrade my account because it will reach over $50. I'll save a few dollars, and also now I can reprice stuff. So there's a lot of benefits to once you have that upgraded COMC account. And I'm going to be utilizing that once this month ends. I was thinking about it for June, but I was slightly under, and that's why I didn't upgrade my account yet. So that'll be in the next update, which is cool. All right, let's go over here to seller stats, and we'll go sales by month. So June, I've sold $1 so far, which is awesome. It's already 8:36 in the morning, but last month in May, I sold almost 600 cards. So it's my second best month with quantity sold, but I'm at 2,500, and I really haven't added anything to the site. So I've been super consistent at selling about $2,500 worth of cards when I'm not even adding stuff. So I do want to scale that out. And other thing I will say for May, up until the 20th, I didn't even think I was going to reach like 2,500 in sales or even 2,000. The last like 7 days or so, my account has been on fire with sales. So I was kind of happy because I was fretting I wasn't going to do too well this month with sales on that side of things. But it definitely picked up the last few weeks. So awesome. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to my sales history, and I'm going to download that really quick. And that way I can load this up over here. So what I can go to first is I go to my dashboard, and I go into my sales history, and then I'm just going to download sales history. All right. So that's downloaded. And then I'm going to jump into Streamlit really quick and show you how this works. So here's my COMC seller stats expanded. I'm just going to upload my spreadsheet for sales history over here. I'm not going to filter by any of these date ranges. I actually have to make a small update. I noticed a bug on one of these, so I'm going to make it right after the video. But this is my stats so far for this year. Again, baseball just dominates on this side of things, followed by basketball, football, non-sports, and hockey, almost the same on multi-sport. Everything else over here is very minimal. So you can see kind of what I focus on. With the decades, 1990 through 2000, I do really well with 2010 through 2020. Although there are some older cards, and it makes sense because there's a lot less older cards on the site as there is throughout these more modern years. So cards mainly sold so far 263, flipped cards 2554, which shows you like most of my sales come from just flipping cards on the site. Serial numbers, I don't really focus too much on serial number cards. I know that's some people's strategy on COMC. That's not really what I do. And I'm not going to go over all my strategies, but I'll just say that. Sold on eBay, 621, cart 301. A lot of COMC users specifically buy my stuff, which is interesting. Maybe I'm underpriced, whatever. And the average purchase price of a card that I flip is about $3.50, which is a little bit higher than I expected. You can see the top 10 selling players for me. Number 1 is Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, then Jordan, Bryant, Mickey Mantle, Ohtani, Nolan Ryan, Brady, Iverson, and Ricky Henderson. I'm honestly surprised with Ohtani being in the top 10 because I feel like I don't buy a lot of Ohtani cards, but I guess they just all sell really fast. 100% agree with Jeter and Griffey being there. Jordan, I do buy a decent amount on. Kobe too, and Mantle. But I don't even think I buy a lot of Nolan Ryans. Brady, I buy a lot of, but I guess I would have thought Brady would have been in the top 5. I'm surprised there. Allen Iverson, I don't buy a lot of. At least I didn't think. And Ricky, I bought a lot of one card because I thought it was underpriced compared to eBay sales. I guess that's one of my strategies, but made the top 10. So that's kind of cool. This is, again, one of the features that I've recently added. Here's kind of my stats breakdown on here. So profit versus the total sales amount, sales count, markup, days of sale. So right now, on this say days of sale median, baseball, it takes me a little bit over a month on average to sell a card, whereas football and basketball, they're a lot faster. So maybe I need to start looking at more football and basketball buys. But there's also the case to be made that like when I focus on football or basketball, I literally only look at the most popular players, whereas baseball, I also buy semi-stars and different things like that, which may take a little bit longer to move. And that's why the days of sale is longer. I 100% understand why non-sports is 82 days and multi-sport is 52. Non-sports isn't as liquid. Same with multi-sports, a little bit more niche of a card. Hockey, again, I focus mostly on Gretzky, which I'm surprised Gretzky's not in this top 10. I do buy a little bit of Lemieux as well. I'm going to expand out hockey, but because I think there's a lot of opportunity there with EPAC and different things like that. But I'm at 44.5 days. And I really haven't sold much Pokemon, so I'm at 5 there. But hockey, you can see I've sold 78 cards. So we can always filter these over here by sales count, so you can see. And I already showed you a little bit earlier, but non-sports and hockey are about the same. Multi-sport at 63, and then it really drops off. I don't really focus too much on the other side of things. I think there is definitely some opportunity on the golf, Star Wars, Olympic, Pokemon, MMA, Marvel, right? And I bought and sold some stuff, but I just don't know enough about those. I mean, I know a lot about boxing, don't get me wrong, but there's not a ton of pre-war boxing cards on Check Out My Cards. I don't think that's the best way to sell them, because I know a lot of boxing collectors and groups and different things like that. So anytime I get those type of cards, they're sold privately rather than on the account. So there's that. Wrestling, I've sold some like 1982 or 83 All-Stars, but not much outside that. Maybe some Hulk stuff, but it's something I'll research a lot more in the future. I promise you, like with some of these over here. So we'll see how these stats expand over time. And you can see kind of advanced profit. Just look at the 50% over here. And one thing to mention also is this doesn't factor in the price that I paid for cards that I've added to the site. Unless you manually add this into your spreadsheet, it's going to default to like that 50 cent or $1, $2, whatever else it was. I can't remember the logic on top of my head, but you can see like for the 50% side of things, non-sports, I've done extremely well profit wise, which I'm fine with that. A lot of the non-sports I've added to the site rather than just flipping. So you can see like $8.68. Multisport $4.19. Again, multisport is super niche, like non-sport side of things, boxing, Marvel, wrestling, Pokemon, which is funny because these are all the stuff that I barely sell on the site. So they're kind of inflated. I just buy them when there's opportunities. And then you can see over here, golf, I've done horrible on negative 5 cents, or not negative. Yeah, negative 5 cents. And where's our baseball? 44 cents on average. So pretty cool there. And then days to sale, you can see the middle 50%. I already talked about that over there. Like what's the longest, what's the shortest, and some of the boxing stuff sold really fast. Markup and different things like that. Annualized returns, as you can see how those are doing over there. And I'm good with these numbers. I think I'm going in the right direction on that. I'll go back over here to the stats breakdown on this side of things. You can see what kind of like my annualized return, what they really focus on. Again, not focusing too much on golf. I like a lot of pre-war golf, but that's not a big selection on Check Out My Cards. So I have done bad on the modern side of things. It looks like I probably had some Tiger stuff and it went down. But yeah, that's kind of the stats for this year. I think next month I'll do it just like a month by month basis, so you can see that. And you can also see like added versus flipped. And let's just see on the flipped side of things. So this will update automatically. Again, I have like one small bug, which I need to fix for the sold date range selector. I checked the acquired date right before the video was working, but sold date wasn't working. So it's literally just 2 or 3 lines of code. But the sports breakdown, again, very similar side of things. And we can see markups on here where the golf is now probably positive. Yeah. And annualized return, or that's advanced profit. You can see non-sports, again, 488. Golf right there. Days to sale, boxing 8, but I don't think I've really flipped that many boxing cards. Let's see. Oh, here's the new top 10. If that updated, no, about the same, which makes sense. But yeah, those are some of the stats on my Streamlit app. Again, I have a lot more work that I still need to do on this, but I'll put a few hours every month. Let's go over here and take a look at my sales for the month of May. Well, before that, I do want to show a few other minor updates. Let me go to dashboard. I'll just open my dashboard in a new tab. So that way I don't get out of the sales history. But what I'll show you is I have some grading results. So I have grading submissions over here. So there was 2 cards that got graded recently. I want to say this, I didn't show this in the last video. So this Max Scherzer, I thought it looked really nice. So a lot of these gold border cards have a lot of chipping here on the front or the back. And this came back at 9. So pleasantly surprised with that one. And the other one was right here. And this one, I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed with the grade. It got a 3. Now, I have a 5 in my own personal collection. Maybe these corners are a little soft. It's hard to tell with this picture. I think it has a good presentation. Oh, like I said, I was kind of hoping for a 4 plus, so a little disappointed at 3, but you're not going to win every single thing that gets graded. You can take a look at the back. I actually didn't show the back of this Scherzer. You can see the back over here. Again, a very clean card. A little bit of chipping here, which is always common on these gold border cards. So I thought it had a good chance at a 9 plus. 8 would probably about break even. Oh, technically a little bit of a loss based off the time of the money on the account. But being a 9, a little bit of nice ROI there. This one over here, Alfred Hitchcock. I think this card's pretty undervalued for like how legendary he is. But I priced it a little bit high on my account. Although I think in the long term where I priced it is kind of a pretty good value. I think this is one of your iconic cinema cards, especially being one of his first cards. I say one of his first. Right now it is the first known card, but with non-sports there's always new stuff being discovered. So when I can, I try to stay away from calling stuff rookie cards and things like that, just because there's so much undiscovered. And I could be a full discussion on that, but yeah, this card also isn't the easiest to find. But I have a 5 in my own personal collection, and I have sold a 1 before. I know there was a sale on PWCC recently. But oh yeah, funny thing too, we'll see some of the stats, but as soon as the Josh Gibson stats got added to the MLB records, my gold refractor sold right away. So this was a nice looking card. I almost got it graded. Numbered to 65, and it sold right away. So let's go into my sales history and we'll take a look. So up first, well, I guess the last sale on May at 10:37 p.m. This Tony Gwynn, paid $1 for it, got $1.85. Again, I'm not going to go through everything. Another Tony Gwynn Tiffany, $1 to $1.82. Jim Beckett. So I actually have an autographed version of this. Back when in the Dallas Card Show, I used to go all the time. Dr. Beckett would have dinners, and I think for the first dinner I went to, he gave everyone a signed version of this. So this is awesome, and it just signed on it and everything like that. So this was something I'm pretty sure I just purchased on COMC and reflipped it, and 270 into 365 sold on eBay. Let's go into more stuff. This 2005 E-Tops, paid $1 for it, ended at 375. Again, I kind of stay away a lot more now from like numbered cards and things like this, because they don't sell as fast as some of the base. But there's also the opposite approach, is like you're not gonna have as many people adding these to the site, so you won't have the value decrease. I don't know. I haven't fully built out my COMC strategy yet, and it still could change in the future. But I like that ROI, $1 into 375, and I purchased this on 12/11, so it took 5 months essentially to sell this item, which good and bad, right? I mean, 3x your money. Good. I mean, I'm more than 3xing it, but that's good. But how long it takes, I don't like cards that sell 5 months. But there's sometimes you need to have that in your account. 1971 Hunter, 90 cents to $1.25. Frank Howard, this really didn't move, but I mean, $1 to $1.13. It bought it on 5/3, so I'm okay with that. It's a month, and some people might say, "Oh, it only made 13 cents." Yeah, but it's velocity, right? If you buy a lot of cards really fast and you move it within a month, it just keeps adding to your COMC account. Pete Rose, 578 to 641. I'm doing a bad job of skipping stuff, but a 93 Griffey Gold. I bought these for $1.25 each and moved them in at $2.50. I made 4 cents on this Leaf Nolan Ryan. I was happy. I bought a lot of Scherzers a while ago, and maybe I should have tried getting some of these graded, but I moved them all. So 329 to 426, 474, 483, 492, and 482. So nice little profit on that. I wouldn't say someone, but multiple people had Scherzers cheap, so I bought them all, right? 3, I probably overpaid for that one at 450, but I'm good with that. Golden VSiN Fund buys a lot off of me, so I'm glad to make that deal happen. Chipper Jones, 8.5, which a lot of people wouldn't want to buy this type of card, right? You're like 8.5, that's bad. And also it's BGS, which a lot of people now just go for PSA and SGC. BGS a little bit lower now. And not saying anything like too bad about BGS, but they've had some questionable changes over the last few years. It used to be one of the best when I was a kid, but 575 into 831. Short print Luis Robert. I probably took a loss on this at some capacity, or I found this in a bargain bin at some point. I don't even know how I had this card, but someone offered me $1.60. I had this since 828. I'm like, all right, well, I'll take it. Sometimes you take a little bit less on stuff that you've had forever. Gretzky, I mean, this is less than a week and 90 cents into $1.32. Let's just go through some more stuff. Doubled this Kyle Tucker. I bought 1211. Again, a little bit longer move for serial numbered cards, but I doubled my money. So it's the thought process is like, is it worth doubling my money over 5 or 6 months waiting on a card? And that's if it sells, right? It might not sell right away. It might take a year or 2 years to sell sometimes serial number cards. So again, I just have to do a little bit more math behind it and think about how often I can sell some cards. I mean, if Kyle Tucker had a bad season, this wouldn't be selling, but he has 18 home runs, I think, right now. So that's why it's moving faster. Who knows? Again, stuff I got to think about long term. And Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky, 2 legends on a card. I knew that would move pretty fast. And look, it took less than a week to move that. Raleigh Fingers had this for a while, 228. And I need to keep going through some cards really fast. But let's go through. This one I took a loss on. It looks like this was something I repriced because this Brady I paid too much, $6.59, and I sold it for $5.21. Like I said, I went through some of my inventory and I had to reprice stuff because if it wasn't moving and I bought it, I think pre-October, I repriced a lot of stuff, which did take a little bit of time. But 84 Nolan Ryan, 15 into 45. Let's keep going through. Griffey, Mantle, Jose Ramirez. Some boxing that I've added on here, which is probably why my ROI in boxing is really nice. One of my wrestling cards, which this I surprised how long it took. I thought the 82 Wrestling All-Stars were a lot more liquid. $15 into $19.95. So I'm not complaining too much, but for when I purchased it, it was a while ago. Let's see, anything else really quick on this page. 1887 Ginter flags. This China one looked pretty nice. There's another sale on eBay that sold for about $30. So someone offered me $30. I took that one. Another 82 Wrestling All-Stars sold. So I guess that's why my wrestling numbers are up a little bit. And Napoleon. Ogden back. Ogden backs are a little bit easier to find. Finally, a decent golf flip, 480 into 698. Their hockey sale. Here's my Josh Gibson. So I ended up paying about $100 for this card. Or no, SRP's $100. Sorry, I probably paid $75. Sold it for $125. So that was my big flip for the month. And again, my other Josh Gibson 1986, 383 into 523, which I wonder what the price point on these are. And like, look at that, all these sales over here. Now it's been repriced to $17. I wonder if that was the same guy that bought it. Oh, it was eBay. So, yeah, these have gone up a lot, although they're going to probably go down a bit too. A lot of Josh Gibson's price was already built into his stuff, I thought, but maybe that's changing. More Jordan, Kobe, Roy Jones Jr. I mean, I sold that literally the same day. And I'm chasing cards. I'm pretty sure has a YouTube channel too. I've watched some COMC stuff, and I actually gotten some ideas from him too. So he has pretty good content. These 96 Mantle reprints, 2 weeks, $1 to $1.80, $1.78. Just nice. I had this Opeachy Ryan forever. Look, 823 was added, and I finally sold it for $8 there. Short print, Mike Trout. I had to reprice a lot of my Trout stuff because his stuff went down. Paul Wall. I wonder if that's Paul on Twitter, the lawyer, Undertaker on the air. I guess I should pay attention more to who buys my stuff. Keith always has his discounts in COMC. Aaron Judge's Chippers. Bunch of Trouts. Actually, I'm surprised I didn't take losses on these for the 2012s. Look at all these Jordans that sold. $$65 each across the board. All a cart too, so someone paid up a little bit more. Those Jordans. Let's see some other big flips over here. I'm only on 527, and there are just so many cards that sell. But that's a good thing, right? Like I want to keep upping that each month. I'm kind of sad my stats didn't do better. I want to make them better, but I want to sell $5,000 plus a month because that way I can put more money into my account and flip more. Yeah, these were bad buys for me. 15 cents into 21. I bought at 316. I mean, 5 cents for a few months. Yeah, it's not good. I'm trying to stay away from more of the cheaper stuff, but sometimes, like, if you're going through an account and you see a lot of deals, you just still buy it. I mean, it takes a click. These SP Legend variations do pretty well for me. They're not the most liquid, but you can see I sold both Ted Williams at $2.80 and $3.50, and then $6. Oh, that was bought by Bleecker Street. He buys a lot of Negro League cards, so that's kind of cool. Assuming that's not the sports card shop though, but like the actual collector. It's kind of confusing. They both have the same name. But Emmett Smith, $8 into $12. Munson sold. My Matt Chapman sold. It lost a little bit on those. I bought him a while ago, and I thought they would sell well. I guess he's not having a great season. I'm not too sure. What are these at right now, anyways? $1.40. Oh man, I probably shouldn't reprice them that fast, but it happens. It happens. 86 Fleer. I look back on a lot of stuff that I take losses on. I'm like, I probably should have just kept the same price. And I was actually talking to a top COMC seller. One of the guys on Twitter, check out my deals. And he was like, keep your prices the same most of the time. And then I know some other people have said if your card hasn't sold over a year, reprice them. I'm kind of feeling like not to reprice the cards for a while. I mean, there has to be a time point when you rechange it because you want to continue liquidity. You don't want to have stale cards. And it's an old theory I think about for like stale inventory because you want to keep moving it. Sometimes it's better just to take a little bit of a loss and then get the money back in your account and buy the next card. But if a card does continue to sell every month or every year a few times, eventually it's your time to sell if no one underprices you. So it's just, there's a lot to think about, like on the numbers side of things. And I'm probably just thinking about this way too much. Mercer 980 into 1686. That was a nice one. Queen Elizabeth sold. I actually bought a few more of her Ogdens overseas, but this was a really nice looking copy. Urlacher 375 into 463. Only on 521. Like I said, last few days I've been on fire. The last few days, last week or so. Frank Gifford, another one of these cards that most people would probably just pass on. I know he's a Hall of Famer, but like this is not a good looking 3. Which again shows you like this is a 3, and same was with my Alfred Hitchcock. Like, no offense to the Hitchcock 3, but or this one over here, it's like the other non-sports card looked a lot nicer than this one. I'll just say that much. That one sold for $13.31. Billy Wagner. I remember buying that one a long time ago. The Black Refractor made $1. LT, his stuff. Lincecum. A lot of vintage basketball. I was looking at some of those to flip for a little while. I will say it's kind of good though to learn what moves on this stuff. Or Elvis Martinez. Oof, I took a big L on those stuff. 25 cents a piece. Has he done even anything? These are at 43 cents. I guess he's performing well if they sold 34 copies, unless that one guy just bought all the stuff. Shane Victorino, been retired for a while. I remember how good he was. I sold that for 57 cents. And this is actually a good buy at 49 cents. I'm going to buy that right now. Throw that in there. Live purchase here on the account. But sometimes I like these veterans that did pretty well. As you can see, like this Shane Victorino, like it sold 22 times over the 4 years, which not the best card to buy for your account, but I don't think a lot of people are going to be adding 2003 Bowman Shane Victorinos to COMC. So eventually, someone that's a Shane Victorino fan will come in here and purchase this card if I'm the cheapest price, and the card looks the same. Like these black border cards, they could be damaged. But again, I don't think a lot of people are adding these. If this was like a 2020 card, I probably wouldn't have bought it because there's a lot more opportunity for someone just to add another card in and do that. But you got to remember, there's a 50 cent insertion fee. Sometimes there's deals on COMC, but you got to assume 50 cents. So someone would have to be have this card laying down and like make 18 cents on it. So if you find this in a bargain bin, it's not worth it. A good chance that someone buys this, and I get no fee on this because it's under 75 cents. Although it won't matter when I upgrade my account because it'll be under $2.50. But for now, that's kind of just how I approach it. I mean, we're 50 cents into 68, so think about it for 49 cents or something like that. And look, I already have a sale that I already know sold for 57 cents. So I'm okay with that. I'll keep going through some more of this stuff. Randy Johnson. These do get added a lot. I sold mine for 46 cents at the end. These are like 50 cents right now, which seem like a pretty good deal. I feel like someone can just go in here and buy out a lot of these and reprice them to $1 and no one would bat an eye just based off of its Randy Johnson. And also these sell a lot, 563 times over the last 4 years. So keep going through. And I probably missed a few big sales, but I hopefully like some of this, what I'm saying makes a little bit of sense if you're trying to jump into a COMC account. I took some losses on some of these football quarterbacks. I'm not buying modern football quarterback rookie cards anymore. I know to stay away. Interesting reason why I bought this card over here. I guess it's just a serial number day where I talk about that type of stuff. But Eric Gagne, he won that. I think it was Cy Young in 2003, and I saw this one got listed, and that's why I bought it. And I bought it for $5, sold it for $9. I knew it wasn't gonna be the most liquid sale, and let me just double check his stats for Baseball Reference. I knew he's a popular relief pitcher, right? Cy Young. And Cy Young Award 2003. So I looked at it and I'm like, it's one of his best cards from 2003. I go from $5 to $10. Why not? Someone will eventually buy it because they want something from his MVP year. And my belief was correct. Although it took about 6 months, double your money. Don Zimmer, $20 into $27. Lemieux, Harper. Harper's stuff is so liquid. Everyone loves Harper. More Michael Jordans. Tim Duncan. Larry Walker. Griffey's. Packy McFarland, which I think his stuff is pretty underrated still. He never lost a fight, I'm pretty sure. Monica, no idea who she is. Scherzer, wow, that actually sold. My Port Affair, which I don't know why that got a Port Affair. Maybe it's like creased or something. I know I added that one to the site. $4. All right, I'll take it. I will take that. That was a nice flip. 1953, $8 into 14. 1953. That was a good one. Acuna. I repriced all my Acuna stuff once he got his injury too. That's an interesting name. COMC Returns. Oh, I'm dumb. This was actually a hilarious card. Someone said they underpriced their Steve Nash card, and they filed their support to get this card returned. Now, I bought this card for $1, right? Look what this card's going for. Like, I don't even get the point of going into complaining about this card being too cheap because you could buy it for $1, $1.05, $1.15. Like, and I think at the time I was buying them for $1 and repriced them at $1.18. Like you can see, these are both mine right here. And I mean, you could technically buy this now for $1 and reprice $1.14. Not a bad play, but not a ton of profit there. But yeah, someone went the COMC support over $1 card. I would get if like you priced a card $5 and it was a $50 card, but someone got mad that their card sold for $1 when it's a $1 card, and with the support, I don't get it. Some people want to waste their time with that. That's fine. It's not what I would do. Scherzer Black. This took forever for me to sell. I was surprised, and I actually repriced this a few times, and I took an offer on it. I originally priced this, I think, at $15 or $20, and I ended up selling it for $9. But I added it at $8.28. I was just surprised how long it took. And just going through more of this stuff. I guess I have been doing pretty well some of this numbered stuff, but it takes forever. Scherzer, or not Scherzer, Kershaw, $2 and $2.28. Don't like that for how long that took. Lindbergh, very popular card. Although he has so many rarer cards that are earlier. I get the popularity behind the set, but I just think those are kind of overrated. And look, his stuff from 1926 through 1930, foreign issues that take years to find. You can always find a Skybird. That's why I say it. Don't get me wrong. Like I get it's a classic set, but that's just me rambling a little bit. Pokemon that I sold $10.45. That's a good ROI. I guess I should start learning a little bit about Pokemon in the future. But and the other thing too is interesting talking to the COMC team at the Collecticon. Now a lot of people dropped off Pokemon cards, Pokemon show, but mostly people dropped off sports cards. So I think there's an opportunity to move into some Pokemon, and just to show you like what's the liquidity behind this Pokemon card. 112 sales. Like that's a lot. Again, I eventually I need to research it, but that's not my like bread and butter. Like I know some other stuff better and focus on that. And when my account scales enough where I need to buy other stuff, like you want to keep buying and selling, but you want to focus on what you know first before you expand other stuff. Al Rosen, something again that took a little bit forever. I was surprised. 52 tops, and how often do these sell? Like 14 times, which I'm a little surprised that these don't sell a lot faster. Ortiz, 64 and 293. More Jordans, Mantles, super cheap 53. Like this was a Port Affair, which I thought it looked like a really nice Port Affair. I guess there's a crease there. I can't 100% tell. Maris Mantle National. I mean, that's two of your more popular Yankees that sell quite a bit. Modern card, but still not too bad. Another dual card. I mean, when you can find dual cards of Hall of Famers and different things like that, like that's why even like some of the stat leaders cards, like I get they're not popular now, but on the vintage side of things, they sell because you have multiple great players. I mean, you have Griffey and Itcha right here, right? 33 cents into 64. And I'm sure like you can't find this card for 64 cents. I'm wrong. There's mine right there for 67 cents, which will sell once this one goes through. Again, I don't think a lot of people are adding 2010 cards right now at 67 cents. I think that's a pretty good threshold where I should do fine there. But Griffey Refractor, this took way longer than I thought. $10 into $11.40. And Garnett, Griffey again, $11.20 to $15.72. Gans, one of your more popular boxers out there. And I sold that for $21. Breeze rookie. 5.9 now. Another one of these team cards, which I added a lot to the site. $17. Which, think about it, it's almost the price of grading, and you already get a graded example back. Brent Musburger. I have no idea who that is. Bought that for $12. I sold that for $38. I think this is also one of my biggest flips. And I think also for the Streamlit app, it would be interesting to have like kind of like a Spotify yearly rewind. Like, what are your biggest flips or something like that? I think it'd be kind of cool to add in there. Maybe I'll do that. I'll add that in there in the future. I'll put that down for my notes after I fix a few bugs in here, because I still have a few bugs to fix. But I haven't used this enough to know where all my bugs are. And that's like one thing when you're developing, kind of these type of applications. Like there's going to be some minor bugs as you fix it or as you work on it, and you just have to fix them up. But Satchel Paige, another one of those SP variants, stuff like that. Fernando stuff still moves a lot for me. I still need to buy more Fernando stuff because like sometimes I'll find good deals, $1.50, $1.50, move them in at $2.50. Took a while, which kind of surprised for some of this stuff. I'm curious what these are at now. Wow, they're up to $5.50. Wow. I mean, hey, you know, I'll still take my dollar profit. What are these up to? Did someone just buy out all the Fernando Tatis stuff, and or is he just doing really that well? What is his stats? I have not been paying attention too much. I mean, 252 with 9 home runs. I don't think that's the best stats. I guess someone just bought him out. Some holiday stuff that moved. MJ's. More Ogdens. Otani. I guess I have been selling a decent amount of Otanis, but that wasn't in the last few weeks. 5-6. Bo Jackson. Supplemental. My Einstein. Winfield's, I think that was literally like the next day, 13 to 16. Chipper Jones, always a popular card. Kobe. Some Stolworks. Oh, here's all my Rickies that sold. I mean, I bought a lot of these for $1 or so, and someone offered me $1.40. He's bought a lot of stuff too, Javad. I'll take that, and I guess that's also why Ricky's kind of in that top 10 sellers. And you can see these are now to $1.98. So you got them at like 75% comps. But I moved a lot of stuff. And, you know, I sold most of these to, 30 cents. Some of these 40 cents. Some of them not too much. But moved a lot of inventory. I'm fine with that. Allen $13.30 into $17. Shane Baz $3 to $5. Again, takes a little bit longer, but numbered cards you have a great ROI on. Liquidity versus ROI. I guess that's one of the things to focus on COMC. But you have to balance both, right? Like you got to find stuff that you can flip for good money, but also at the same side, you got to move stuff fast. We're on 5.3. They're 1924. This was there, another 1959. I think there was a 59 or 58. I can't remember. But it's another one of these team cards that I picked up a while ago. And Jason Kidd, that was a nice one. $6 to $11. That's 5-1. Run our last stuff over here. 5 1s. Not the biggest profit, but Rick Ankle autograph. David Wright, Sterling, 2 to 280. And first one is this Cal Ripken, 3,077 to $1. Those were my COMC stats and updates for the month of May. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want to see how I've progressed over time, make sure to check out some of my older COMC videos here on the channel. I should have a playlist for those. And if you want to buy some cards off my COMC store, my account is down below. See you guys in next month's video.